Welcome back to Outlaws and Gunslingers with Joe's Bang and Dang. Fresh off of Mafia of the Month, right back into more true crime. I guess it is crime.
Who did we do? Just watch
Paul Castellano
get napped.
Got a nap in the middle of the street on the sidewalk.
Right.
There's a driver in the middle of the street.
Dummies.
And Mafia of the Month, we're right back for some more mayhem as we cover quite possibly, the most controversial school shooting that has ever occurred in America, which is the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, December 14th, 2012 in Newtown, Connecticut. Adam Lanza shot, killed 26 people, mostly those of, fourth graders. 20 of the victims were children between 6 to 7 years old. The other 6 were adult staff members. Also killed his mama before he went to the school. And, of course, he took the pussy way out, allegedly.
Right.
And shot himself in the head before the police could get to him.
Yeah, that's rough. And conspiracy theories rolled on out after that.
We will learn about this piece of shit and obviously what happened.
Alex Jones, about what, $1 billion?
Well, supposedly. That I'll never see, but yeah, we'll go through the whole story, everything that happened afterwards, and we will indeed dive into a few conspiracy theories that erupted.
They're turning the frogs gay.
Before we get into it, let's go take a look at our YouTube channel, will ya? At Bang Dang Network, full episode shorts, clips, and our YouTube exclusive Dart League. And if you're only listening on Spotify, Apple, leave us a review, share with your friends, and answer that Spotify question.
Ooh, Spotify question.
Oh, this one's going to be a long one, guys, because there's lots of stuff. Lots of stuff.
Once again, preventable.
This is the original, well, not original, but the one that started this new round of gun control debate and all that automatic weapons and ARs and all that crap that started pretty much with this shooting right here. So we'll take a look at the piece of crap first, as we usually do. Adam Peter Lanza lived with his mother Nancy in Newton. He was born April 22nd, 1992. He lived in Newtown, 5 miles from the elementary school. He did not have a criminal record at this time. Do they really?
Right.
He had access to guns through his mother, who was described as a gun enthusiast who owned at least a dozen firearms.
Cool.
She often took her two sons to a local shooting range where they learned to shoot. Lanza's father said that he does not believe Nancy feared Lanza. She did not confide any fear of Lanza to her sister or her best friend. She slept with her bedroom door unlocked and kept guns in the house.
All right.
Well, why would she be?
Right.
I'm sure he wasn't like, I'm going to kill you, bitch.
Right. Well, Adam attended Sandy Hook Elementary School for 4.5 years. He began in Newtown Middle School in 2004. But according to his mama, he was wrecked by anxiety. She told friends that her son started getting upset in middle school because of frequent classroom changes during the day.
Oh,
like every other person in America has to deal with. The movement and noise were too stimulating and made him anxious. At one point, his anxiety was so intense, she took him to the emergency room at Danbury Hospital. Because of the smaller class sizes, his mother moved him to a parochial school? To a parochial school, which was called St. Rose of Lima. And I took him to a Catholic. According to that's even worse. According to classmates at St. Rose of Lima, he entered late in the school year, and he left in June of 2005.
All right.
Well, aren't you supposed to?
Right.
It's the end of the school year, or do they go year round?
I doubt it. Age 14, he went to Newtown High School, where he was named to honor roll in 2007, though.
Oh.
So okay. Students and teachers who knew him in high school described Lanza as intelligent but nervous and fidgety. He avoided attracting attention and was uncomfortable socializing. He's not known to have any close friends in school.
Oh.
Schoolwork often triggered his underlying sense of hopelessness, and by 2008, when he turned 16, he was only going to school occasionally.
Oh.
The intense anxiety Lanza experienced at the time suggests his autism might have been exacerbated by the hormonal shifts of adolescence. He was getting boners. He was like, what is this?
All right.
He was taken out of high school and homeschooled by his mother and father, and he got his GED. 2008 and 2009, he also attended some classes at Western Connecticut State University.
Oh, look at that shit.
Online, I'm assuming.
Right. Well, he was born and partially raised in Kingston, New Hampshire, about 7 miles southwest of Exeter, which is 30 miles east of Manchester and 50 miles north of Boston. While living in New Hampshire at the time, Adam exhibited developmental challenges before the age of 3. These included communication and sensory difficulties, socialization delays, and repetitive behaviors. He was seen by the New Hampshire Birth to 3 intervention program and referred to special education preschool services. Once at elementary school, he was diagnosed with a sensory integration disorder. All these damn disorders. Let me guess, they threw some pills in his old belly.
Well, the sensory processing disorder does not have official status by the medical community as a formal diagnosis, but is a common characteristic of autism. His anxiety affected his ability to attend school, and in 8th grade, he was placed on homebound status, which is reserved for children who are too disabled, even with supports and accommodations, to attend school.
Okay.
Well, when he was 13, he was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome by a psychiatrist whose name was Paul Fox. When he was 14, his parents took him to Yale University's Child Study Center, where he was also diagnosed with OCD. Isn't that just like autism?
Kind of, I guess. He frequently washed his hands, changed his socks about 20 times a day, to the point where his mother did 3 loads of laundry a day. He also sometimes went through a box of tissues in one day because he could not touch a doorknob with his bare hand. Adam was treated by Robert King, who recommended extensive support be put in place, and King's colleague Kathleen Koenig at the Yale Child Study Center prescribed the antidepressant Celexa.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. Well, we don't know what to do with them. We'll just give them these pills.
Here's this antidepressant, but guess what the side effects is? Depression.
Well, homicidal and suicidal thoughts.
Oh, wow.
Ideations, they call them.
His mama, Nancy, reported that on the 3rd morning, he complained of dizziness. By the afternoon, he was disorientated. His speech was disjointed. He couldn't even figure out how to open his cereal box. He was sweating profusely. It was actually dripping off his hands.
Hypohidrosis.
Right. He said he couldn't think. He was practically vegetative.
Wow.
He never took the medication again after
I
that.
bet not.
You got to wait for it to kick in after,
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Right. A report from the Office of the Child Advocate found that Yale's recommendations for extensive special education supports, ongoing expert consultation, and rigorous therapeutic supports embedded into Adam's daily life went largely unheeded. Really?
In a 2013 interview, Peter Lanza said he suspected his son might also have undiagnosed schizophrenia.
Oh, shit.
In addition to his other conditions. Lanza said that family members might have missed signs of the onset of schizophrenia and psychotic behavior during his son's adolescence because they mistakenly attributed his odd behavior and increasing isolation to Asperger's.
I mean, they're similar.
Because of concerns that published accounts of Lanza's autism could result in backlash against others with the condition, autism advocates campaigned to clarify that autism is a brain-related development disorder rather than a mental illness. Right.
Still mental illness.
There's legitimately something wrong with your chromosomes when you have autism.
What they say, your chemical imbalance.
Something like that. Yeah.
The violence Adam demonstrated in the shooting is generally not seen in the autistic population, and none of the psychiatrists he saw detected troubling signs of violence. Lanza appears to have had no contact with mental health providers after 2006. A report from the Office of the Child Advocate stated, in the course of Adam's entire life, minimal mental health evaluation and treatment in relation to his apparent need was obtained. Of the couple of providers that saw him, only one, which was the Yale Child Study Center, seemed to be appreciative to the gravity of his presentation. His need for extensive mental health and special education supports, and the critical need for medication to ease his obsessive-compulsive symptoms. There's medication for that?
I guess. Make you focus or something, or I don't know.
Adderall or something?
That would probably make it worse.
Right.
Investigators found Lanza was fascinated with mass shootings, such as the Columbine High School massacre. Among the clippings found in his room, there was a story from the New York Times about a man who shot at school children in 1891.
Oh, shit.
His computer contained 2 videos of gunshot suicides, movies that showed school shootings, 2 pictures of Lanza pointing guns at his own head. Jeez. This only came to light after he died because he never permitted others to access his bedroom, including his mother.
Right.
Obviously.
I mean, they're sorry, I guess. Well, he had also taped black plastic. He had also taped black plastic garbage bags over the windows in his bedroom to block out sunlight. He had cut off contact with both his father and brother in the 2 years before the shooting, and at one point communicated with his mother, who lived in the same house, only by email.
Jeez.
A document titled Selfish, describing Lanza's belief in the inherent selfishness of women, was found on his computer after his death.
Jeez.
Yeah. She must have brought some guys over or something.
Maybe, or who knows? According to a report by the Office of the Child Advocate in Connecticut, November 2014, Lanza may have anorexia nervosa. The authors wrote that anorexia can produce cognitive impairment and is likely that anorexia combined with an autism spectrum disorder and OCD compounded Lanza's risk for suicide. Okay. So what about the homicide?
Right.
They also noted that at the time of his death, Lanza was anorexic. He was 6 feet and only weighed 112 pounds.
Holy shit.
To the point of malnutrition and resultant brain damage. Wow.
That's true. Malnutrition going to your brain.
Wow.
He was also living in almost total isolation in his room, spending most of his time on the internet playing World of Warcraft and other video games. The report stated that he descended into a world where his only communication with the outside world was with the members of a cyber community. A small community of individuals that shared his dark and obsessive interest in mass moida, or World of Warcraft.
Right.
In the weeks before the killings, Lanza, you see that, what was that, California is trying to, you have to pay like an extra tax if you buy a Call of Duty game or something like that.
Not surprising.
Right. To stop gun violence.
Yeah.
She planned to purchase a recreational vehicle for him to stay in so that potential purchasers could see the house without disturbing him.
Jeez. The report of the Child Advocate stated that, I guess there's a report, in the wake of Miss Lanza's stated plan to move out of Newtown in 2012, and perhaps stimulated by fears of leaving the comfort zone of his home, Adam planned and executed the massacre at Sandy Hook on December 14, 2012. His severe and deteriorating internalized mental health problems were combined with an atypical preoccupation with violence. Combined with access to deadly weapons, this proved a recipe for mass murder.
Oh.
James Knoll, a forensic psychiatrist at the SUNY Upstate Medical University, was consulted about what motivated Lanza to kill. Knoll states that Lanza's final act conveyed a distinct message. I carry profound hurt. I'll go ballistic and transfer it onto you. That's what he says. He's thinking. He don't know.
Right. I mean, there's some kind of science here, but I mean, with all those schizophrenia, anorexia, OCD, autism, Asperger's, this guy should have at least been seeing somebody 2 to 3 times a week.
It's still autism.
Right.
And OCD,
Asperger's.
and he had some clearly in his room. What the hell is his mom doing? Like, he's 112 pounds, 6 foot. She don't notice any of this?
Right. If you have those type of mental disorders, plus you're not eating and getting the right amount of oxygen to your brain and the protein in your body, that's crazy stuff, man.
Clearly.
That's like being in isolation and being in a hole in prison for 3 weeks. Freaking start going crazy.
In the heat box.
Right. 2012, 456 children were enrolled in kindergarten through 4th grade, Sandy Hook Elementary. The school's security protocols had recently been upgraded.
I bet they did.
Oh, I think we hear that in every single one.
Right.
Requiring visitors to be individually admitted after visual and identification review by video monitors. Doors to the school were locked at 9:30 a.m. each day after morning arrivals. Newtown is in Fairfield County, Connecticut. It's about 17 miles from New Haven, 30 miles from Hartford, 60 miles from New York City. New York City.
That's it. Uh-huh.
Violent crime had been rare in the town of 28,000 residents. There was only one homicide in the town in the past 10 years.
Jeez.
Under the Connecticut gun laws at the time, the 20-year-old Lanza was old enough to carry a long gun, such as a rifle or a shotgun. But he was still too young to own or carry handguns. The guns he used had been purchased legally by his mother.
But they did. Well, sometime before 9:30 a.m. December.
And she didn't have these guns locked up properly.
Apparently not. They were just laying around her house, I guess. He was a gun enthusiast.
Yeah, right.
Sometime before 9:30 a.m., December 14th, 2012, Lanza shot and killed his mother, Nancy, who was age 52, with a .22 caliber Savage Mark II rifle at their Newtown home. Investigators later found her body clad in pajamas in her bed with 4 gunshot wounds to her head.
Oh, my.
Lanza then drove to Sandy Hook Elementary School in his mother's car. Shortly after 9:35, so it took him, shot his mom, and 5 minutes later is at the freaking school already?
Holy shit.
Shortly after 9:35 a.m., armed with his mother's Bushmaster XM15 E2S rifle and 10 magazines with 30 rounds each, that's 300 rounds for you guys, Lanza shot his way through a glass panel next to the locked front entrance doors of the school. He was wearing black clothing, yellow earplugs, sunglasses, a black hat, and an olive green utility vest. Initial reports said that he was wearing body armor were incorrect, though.
Right.
Some of those, because he was just wearing the utility vest.
Right.
What was that? And the other one we had, that
Yeah.
Robb Elementary or something. Some of these present heard the initial shots on the school intercom system, which was being used for morning announcements.
Oh, shit. Damn. Principal Dong Hochsprung. Principal Dong Hochsprung and school psychologist Mary Sherlack were meeting with other faculty members when they heard, but did not recognize gunshots. The principal and the psychologist and lead teacher Natalie Hammond went into the hall to determine the source of the sounds and encounter Adam Lanza. A faculty member who was at the meeting said that the 3 women called out, "Shooter, stay put!"
I don't think they were talking to him, though.
Right. Which alerted their colleagues to the danger and saved their lives. An aide heard gunshots. A teacher hiding in the math lab heard school janitor Rick Thorne yell, "Put the gun down!" Lanza killed both Hochsprung and Sherlack.
Hammond was hit first in the leg and then sustained another gunshot wound. She laid still in the hallway and then, not hearing any more noise, crawled back to the conference room, pressed her body against the door to keep it closed.
Jeez.
She was later treated at Danbury Hospital. A 9-year-old boy said he heard the shooter say, "Put your hands up," and someone else say, "Don't shoot." He also heard many people yelling and many gunshots over the intercom while he and his classmates and his teacher took refuge in a closet in the gym. Diane Day, a school therapist who had been at the faculty meeting with Hochsprung, heard screaming followed by more gunshots.
Oh, man. A second teacher, who was a substitute kindergarten teacher, was wounded in the attack. While she was closing a door further down the hallway, she was hit in the foot with a bullet that ricocheted. Lanza never entered her classroom. After killing Hochsprung and Sherlack, Lanza entered the main office, but apparently did not see the people hiding there and returned to the hallway. School nurse Sarah Cox. Sarah Sally?
Yes, they call her Sally, I guess.
Who was 60 years old, hid under a desk in her office. She later described seeing the door opening and Lanza's boots and legs facing her desk from approximately 20 feet away. She's like, "Oh, man, shit's about to go down."
He remained standing for a few seconds before turning around and leaving. She and the school secretary, Barbara Helsted, called 911 and hid in a first aid supply closet for as long as 4 hours. Janitor Rick Thorne ran through hallways, alerting classrooms. Lanza then entered room 8, which was the first grade classroom where Lauren Russo, who was a substitute teacher, had herded her first grade students to the back of the room and was trying to hide them in a bathroom when Lanza forced his way into the classroom. Russo, Rachel Davino, who was a behavioral therapist who had been employed for a week at the school to work with special needs student, and 15 students in Russo's class were killed.
Damn.
Jeez, dude.
The freak, man. 14 of the children were dead at the scene. One injured child was taken to the hospital for treatment, but was later declared dead. Most of the teachers and students were found crowded together in the bathroom. A 6-year-old girl, the sole survivor, was found by police in the classroom following the shooting. She hid in a corner of the classroom's bathroom during the shooting. Her family's pastor said she survived by playing dead. When she reached her mother, she said, "Mommy, I'm okay, but all my friends are dead." The child described the shooter as a very angry man.
A girl hiding in a bathroom with 2 teachers told police that she heard a boy in the classroom screaming, "Help me, I don't want to be here," to which Lanza responded, "Well, you're here," followed by hammering sounds.
Oh, no.
Lanza also went to room 10, which was another first grade classroom nearby. At this point, there are conflicting reports about the order of events. Of course there are. According to some reports, the classroom's teacher, Victoria Lee Soto, had concealed some of the students in a closet or bathroom, and some of the other students were hiding under desks. Soto was walking back to the classroom door to lock it when Lanza entered the class.
Jeez, what is with these cocksuckers going to elementary schools? The fuck? Especially when he's high school age. I mean,
He's 20.
If you got a beef with somebody or something, I mean, I'm not saying go shoot up a high school and college, but fuck. Freaking elementary? You pussy. Man, so fucking stupid. Lanza walked to the back of the classroom, saw the children under the desk, and shot them. First grader Jesse Lewis shouted at his classmates to run for safety, and several of them did. Lewis was looking at Lanza when Lanza fatally shot him. Another account, given by a surviving child's father, said that Soto had moved the children to the back of the classroom, and that they were seated on the floor when Adam entered. According to this account, neither Adam nor any of the occupants of the classroom spoke. Lanza stared at the people on the floor, pointed the gun at a boy seated there, but did not fire. The boy ran out of the classroom. Like that shit, too. Like,
why?
just to terrorize them or something? Or
The final report into the shooting concluded that the sequence of events in rooms 8 and 10 was indeterminate. A Hartford Courant report said that 6 of the children who escaped did so when Lanza stopped shooting, either because his weapon jammed or he erred in reloading it. Earlier reports said that as Lanza entered her classroom, Soto told him that the children were in the auditorium. When several of the children came out of their hiding places and tried to run for safety, Lanza fatally shot them. Soto put herself between her students and the shooter, who then fatally shot her as well.
jeez. Why would you say anything?
Right.
Well, the kids are in the auditorium.
What if there were kids in the auditorium that you didn't know about? No, you just got kids killed.
Anne Marie Murphy, a special education teacher who worked with special needs students, obviously, in Soto's classroom, was found covering 6-year-old Dylan Hockley, who also died. Soto and 4 children were found dead in the classroom. Soto was near the north wall of the room with a set of keys nearby. 1 child was taken to the hospital, later pronounced dead. 6 surviving children from the class and a school bus driver took refuge at a nearby home. According to the official report released by the state's attorney, 9 children ran from Soto's classroom, and police found 2 hiding in a classroom bathroom. 5 of Soto's students were moited.
Jeez. Well, meanwhile, first grade teacher Caitlin Roig, 29 years old, had hid 15 students in the bathroom and barricaded the door, telling them to be completely quiet to remain safe. It is believed that Lanza bypassed her classroom, which was the first classroom on the left side of the hallway. Following a lockdown drill weeks earlier, Roig had failed to remove a piece of black construction paper covering the small window in her classroom door. Lanza may have assumed that Roig's classroom was empty because the door was closed and the window covered.
Oh.
Well, look at that.
It worked out, huh? She was just a lazy teacher.
Right.
Ended up saving
Worked out
lives.
for the best.
Well, school library staff Yvonne Check and Marianne Jacob, they tried to hide 18 children in a part of the library the school used for lockdown and practice drills. When they discovered that the one door would not lock, they had the children crawl into a storage room where Check barricaded the door with a filing cabinet. Music teacher Mary Rose Christopic, who was 50 years old, barricaded her 4th graders in a tiny supply closet during the rampage. One of Christopic's students later said that Lanza arrived moments later, pounding on the door and yelling, "Let me in. Little pigs, let me in."
And they're like, "Not by the hair of my chili chin chin."
And he said that while the students hid quietly inside.
2 third-grade students chosen as classroom helpers were walking down the hallway to the office to deliver the morning attendance sheet as the shooting began. Teacher Abby Clements pulled both children into her classroom where they hid. Laura Feinstein, a reading specialist at the school, gathered 2 students from outside her classroom and hid with them under desks after they heard the gunshots. Feinstein called the school office and tried to call 911, but could not connect due to the lack of reception on her cell phone. You're in the middle of a school. How do you have lack of reception? Right. She hid with the children for approximately 40 minutes, at which point law enforcement came to lead them out of the room. Okay.
The police heard the final shot at about 9:40 a.m.
Dude, it was only 5 minutes.
They believed that it was Lanza's shooting himself in the lower rear portion of his head with the Glock 20 SF in classroom 10. Lanza's body was found wearing a pale green pocket vest over a black polo shirt, over a black t-shirt, black sneakers, black fingerless gloves, black socks, black canvas belt. Other objects found in the vicinity of Lanza included a black boonie hat and thin-framed sunglasses. The Glock was found, apparently jammed, near Lanza, and the rifle was found several feet away from him. A 9mm SIG Sawyer
6 Hour, man.
P226, which had not been fired during the incident. And it was also found on Lanza.
They believe he shot himself with the Glock, but the Glock was found apparently jammed. How's that work?
Right. Well, after he shot it, probably jammed.
Authorities determined that Lanza
It's a pretty shitty gun if it's jamming. They don't clean their guns very well, do they?
Right. Authorities determined that Lanza reloaded frequently during the shooting, sometimes firing only 15 rounds from a 30-round magazine. He shot all but 2 of his victims multiple times.
Jeez.
Most of the shootings took place in 2 first-grade classrooms near the entrance of the school. The students among the victims totaled 8 boys, 12 girls, all either 6 or 7. And the 6 adults were all women who worked at the school.
Jeez.
Bullets were also found in at least 3 parked cars outside the school, leading police to believe that he fired at the teacher who was standing near a window.
Huh.
When police interviewed survivors, a teacher recalled hearing Lanza curse several times, as well as telling them to look at me, come over here, and look at them.
The first call at 911 around 9:35 a.m. Newtown 911 police dispatched first broadcast that there was a shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary at 9:36 a.m. About 30 seconds after they received the first call. Connecticut State Police were dispatched at 9:37. Newtown police arrived at the school street at 9:39, approximately 3.5 minutes after the 911 call. Connecticut State Police arrived at 9:46. Newtown police first entered the school at 9:45, approximately 9 minutes after the 911 call, and approximately 10 minutes after the shooting started. What time did Newtown get there? 9:39. They should already been in the school at 9:39 and 80 seconds.
Right. 80 seconds?
Right.
So 9:40. This was approximately 5 minutes after the last shot was heard when they finally went in.
Of course they did.
No shots were fired by the police. The Newtown Police and Connecticut State Police mobilized local police dog and police tactical units, a bomb squad, and a state police helicopter. Police locked down the school and began evacuating the survivors room by room, escorting groups of students and adults away from the school. They swept the school for other shooters at least 4 times. Approximately 10 a.m., Danbury Hospital sent extra medical personnel in expectation of having to treat numerous victims.
3 wounded patients were evacuated to the hospital, where 2 children were later declared moited. The other was an unidentified adult. Why was he unidentified?
Right.
New York City medical examiner dispatched a Porto morgue to assist the authorities. The victims' bodies were removed from the school and formally identified during the night after the shooting. A state trooper was assigned to each victim's family to protect their privacy and provide them with info. 4th of December, 2013. 7 911 calls related to the shooting were made public.
Investigators did not find any suicide note or messages referring to the planning of the attack. Janet Robinson, superintendent of Newtown Schools, said she had not found any connection between Lanza's mother and the school, in contrast to initial media reports that said Lanza's mother had worked there.
Of course they say that.
Police also investigated whether Lanza was the person who had been in an altercation with 4 staff members at Sandy Hook School the day before the massacre. Was he?
Well, it was presumed that he killed 2 of the 4 staff members involved in the altercation, the principal and the psychologist, and wounded the 3rd, which was the lead teacher. The 4th staff member was not at the school that day. The state police said they did not know if any reports about any altercations at the school. We don't know. Nobody called us. Police sources initially reported that Adam's brother Ryan, then age 24, was the perpetrator.
Jeez.
This was probably because Adam was carrying Ryan's identification. And that's what Ryan told the
of course he would.
Jersey Journal.
Like, whoa. He's just carrying my identification.
Right,
I don't know how he got it, but Ryan, who lived in Hoboken, New Jersey, was at his job in New York City at the time of the shooting, voluntarily submitted to questioning by New Jersey State Police, Connecticut State Police, and the FBI. Police said he was not considered a suspect and he was not taken into custody. Ryan said he had not been in touch with Adam since 2010.
Wow.
When asked why, Ryan said his brother was sick. He doesn't talk to anyone, and that Ryan don't even know him anymore.
Oh.
How's it got your ID and stuff?
Right. Connecticut State Police indicated their concern about misinformation being posted on social media sites. They also threatened prosecution of anyone involved with such activities. Ryan, he was also mistakenly reported to have mourned his mother and brother on social media and to have been interviewed by the New York Post. He's allowed to mourn his mother and brother.
Right. Well, at least his mother, for sure.
Right. Even his brother.
Well, at least his mother for sure.
Right. A spokesperson for Adam's family later said an imposter gave the interview.
Jeez.
Now you got imposters. Man, this story's so weird.
An imposter gave an interview.
Right. So
Okay.
a large quantity of unused ammunition was recovered inside the school, along with 3 semi-automatic firearms. They also found those with Adam. A .223 caliber Bushmaster XM15 E2S rifle, which is just a little pew-pew hunting rifle. A 10mm Glock 20SF handgun, and a 9mm 6 Sauer P226 handgun. Outside the school, an Ishmash Saiga 12-gauge shotgun was found in the trunk of the car that Lanza had driven to that school, which was a black 2010 Honda Civic.
March 28, 2013, court documents released from the investigation showed that the shooting had occurred in the space of fewer than 5 minutes with 156 shots fired.
Jeez.
This comprised 154 shots from the rifle and 2 shots from the pistol. Lanza fired 1 shot from the Glock in the hallway and killed himself with another shot from the pistol to the head. Jeez, dude. 5 minutes.
Man. Shortly after the shooting, police announced that Lanza used the rifle to kill the victims at the school. At a press conference on the 15th of December, Dr. H. Wayne Carver II, the chief medical examiner of Connecticut, was asked about the wounds, and he replied, "All the ones that I know of at this point were caused by the long weapon." When asked if the children suffered before dying, Carver replied by stating that, if so, not very long.
Carver, whose office autopsied the victims and who personally performed 7, said the injuries were devastating and that parents identified their children from photographs to spare them the sight. All the child victims were first graders and all were killed with the Bushmaster. Carver said the bullets used were designed in such a fashion that the energy is deposited in the tissue so the bullet stays in. Investigators evaluated Lanza's body looking for evidence of drugs or medication through toxicology tests. Unusually, for an investigation of this type, DNA testing of Lanza was utilized. Why?
Well, why would it be unusual? The results of the
They already
toxicology...
know who it is. Why do they need DNA?
The results of the toxicology report were published in October 2013 and stated that no alcohol or drugs were found in his system. His autopsy showed no tumors or gross deformities in his brains. He removed the hard drive from his computer and intentionally damaged it before the shooting, creating a challenge for the investigators to recover data. As the final report's publication, recovering data from the damaged hard drive had been proven unsuccessful. Police believed that Adam extensively researched earlier mass shootings, they believed, as they had found that Adam had downloaded videos relating to the Columbine massacre and other shootings.
How if his hard drive was unsuccessful?
Right. And 2 videos of suicide by gunshot.
Details of the investigation were reported by law enforcement officials at a meeting of the International Association of Police Chiefs and Colonels held during the week of March 11, 2013. An article published in the New York Daily News March 17th provided purported details of this report by an anonymous law enforcement veteran who had attended the meeting. The source stated that the investigation had found that Lanza had created a 7 by 4 foot size spreadsheet listing around 500 mass murderers and the weapons they used, which was considered to have taken years of work and to have been used by Lanza as a score sheet. For what?
Right.
Killed himself after the first one.
Right. 18th of March, 2013, Lieutenant Paul Vance, Connecticut State Police, responded that the info from this meeting was law enforcement sensitive information and considered the release to be a leak.
Oh, shit.
28th of March, documents also provided details on items found at Adam's home, including 3 samurai swords, a newspaper article about the Northern Illinois University shooting, and an NRA certificate. Oh, piss off. The NRA denied that Adam Lanza or Nancy were members, and reporters noted that the NRA site provides training certificate completion templates for courses offered by NRA certified instructors.
Right. A gun safe was found in a bedroom, and investigators found more than 1,400 rounds of ammo and other firearms. At home, Lanza had access to 3 more firearms, which was a 45 Henry rifle, a 30 Enfield rifle, and a 22 Marlin rifle. These were legally owned by Lanza's mother, who was, yes, we know. Yes, how many times do we have to describe her as a gun enthusiast? According to Time magazine, authorities also found a photograph of Lanza holding a gun to his head at his home following his death.
According to
the New York Times, law enforcement officials commented that Lanza would spend most of his time in the basement doing solitary activities. Thought it was his room.
Right.
According to the same officials, it also appeared that Lanza may have taken target practice in the basement. What? And his mom wouldn't have found out or known?
Right, get the hell out of here. Piss off. Hartford Courant reported that Adam had edited Wikipedia articles related to mass shootings with the username Canebread.
Canebread, okay.
The final report of the state attorney summarizing the investigation into the shooting was published on the 25th of November, 2013. Concluded that Adam Lanza acted alone and that the case was closed. The report noted that Lanza had a familiarity with and access to firearms and ammo, an obsession with mass moitas, in particular the April 1999 shootings at Columbine High School. The report did not identify a specific motive for the shooting, and it stated, the evidence clearly shows that the shooter planned his actions, including the taking of his own life. But there's no clear indication why he did so, or why he targeted Sandy Hook Elementary School.
On the question of Lanza's state of mind, the report noted significant mental health issues that affected his ability to live a normal life and to interact with others, even those to whom he should have been close. What contribution this made to the shootings, if any, is unknown, as those mental health professionals who saw him did not see anything that would have predicted his future behavior. The report found no evidence that Lanza had taken drugs or medication that would have affected his behavior, and observed, why did the shooter murder 27 people, including 20 children? Unfortunately, that question may never be answered conclusively, despite the collection of extensive background information on the shooter through a multitude of interviews and other sources.
27th December 2013, police released thousands of pages of documents pertaining to the investigation. In accordance with law, the names of victims and witnesses were redacted or withheld. The summary report included information about items found on Adam's computer equipment, including writings and material about previous mass shootings. Former teacher of Lanza's noted that he exhibited antisocial behavior, rarely interacted with other students, and was obsessed with writing about battles, destruction, and war.
Okay. The report of the Office of the Child Advocate concluded there was not one thing that was necessarily the tipping point driving Lanza to commit the Sandy Hook shooting. Rather, there was a cascade of events, many self-imposed, that included loss of school, absence of work, disruption of the relationship with his one friend, virtually no personal contact with his family, virtually total and increasing isolation, fear of losing his home, and a change in his relationship with Mrs. Lanza, which is his only caretaker and connection, worsening OCD, depression and anxiety, profound and possibly worsening anorexia, and an increasing obsession with mass murder occurring in the total absence of any engagement with the outside world. Adam increasingly lived in an alternate universe in which ruminations about mass shootings were a central preoccupation. Jeez, maybe he did just make it up all in his head, huh?
It's possible. The authors noted that despite multiple developmental and mental health problems, Lanza had not received adequate mental health treatment. They wrote this: it is fair to surmise that had Lanza's mental illness been adequately treated in the last years of his life, one predisposing factor to the tragedy of Sandy Hook might have been mitigated.
Possible.
The report also tentatively disagreed with the conclusions of the state attorney about why Lanza targeted Sandy Hook. They noted that, according to the FBI, shooters are likely to target places or people that are familiar to them. The elementary school may have been targeted because he could overpower people, a dynamic that is very important for mass shooters, as they do not want to be thwarted.
It's true. January 2015, families of two of the first graders who died in the shooting filed a lawsuit against the city of Newtown and the Newtown Board of Education, alleging inadequate security at the school. In March, it was announced that the parents of the children and teachers killed in the shooting had filed lawsuits against the estate of Nancy Lanza as well. The suits are based on a claim that she did not properly secure her firearms, which allowed her son, a person with mental health issues, to gain access.
Very true.
The attorneys representing the family said Lanza was believed to have homeowners insurance on her home worth more than $1 million, and they were seeking compensation based on that. Oh, geez.
16th October 2019, jury awarded Leonard Posner $450,000 for defamation by James Fetzer, who had co-written the book Nobody Died at Sandy Hook. The book claimed that Posner had fabricated the death certificate of his son Noah, a 6-year-old victim of the shooting. Fetzer said he would appeal the decision. Fetzer petitioned for an appeal, which was denied, to which he petitioned for a rehearing, which was also denied. Damn, if this dude actually thought, why would he go for an appeal and all that. He must have some evidence. What's that book? Why would they deny an appeal?
Well, we'll get to him later.
Are they scared?
We'll get to him later. Don't worry about it. December 15, 2014, 9 families of the 26 victims of the shooting filed a class action lawsuit in Connecticut against Bushmaster, Remington Arms, Camfor,
Come on.
a distributor of firearms, and the now closed East Windsor store.
See, this shit's stupid. There's no reason for that. Dumb.
Also, Riverview Sales, where the gunman's rifle was purchased, seeking unspecified
Piss
damages.
off.
Claiming an exemption from the 2005 Federal Protection of Lawful Commerce and Arms Act that would normally disallow such a suit as lacking standing.
Stupid. No. Get the fuck out of here. Sue no damn gun makers. Stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. You're going to sue Goodyear because you got in an accident?
Well, if that was their fault.
But no tires. Nothing had to do with the tires. They're going to sue Bell Tire. The plaintiffs allege that the XM15E2S is suitable only for military and policing. It's not. Policing applications, and the Bushmaster inappropriately marked it to civilians. January 2015, Bushmaster's attorneys petitioned to have the suit moved to a federal court because, although the shooting took place in Connecticut, it is located in North Carolina. February 2015, the victim's family's attorneys made a motion to move the suit back to the state court. April 14, 2016, Connecticut court denied the defendant's motion to summarily dismiss the case.
Lawyers for the defense filed a second motion for dismissal a month later. October 14, 2016, the defendant's motion to dismiss the lawsuit was granted.
Which it should have been.
The judge ruled the complaint was not valid per federal and Connecticut laws.
You can't go at... Stupid.
Well, the families appealed to the Connecticut Supreme Court. In March 2019, the court decided in a 4-3 vote to reverse parts of the trial court's ruling and remand the case back to the Bridgeport Superior Court for additional hearings. It ruled that the family's appeal to the Connecticut Unfair Trade Practices Act demonstrated that the gun manufacturer had used advertising that presented the weapons in an unfair, unethical, or dangerous manner.
Okay, fuck out of here.
With Remington seeking to expand the market for its assault weapons through advertising campaigns that encourage consumers to launch offensive assaults against their perceived enemies, was not prohibited by PLCAA, and thus that the plaintiffs had sufficient standing to argue their case at trial court.
Oh, wow. It was also ruled that the plaintiffs can subpoena internal documents on how gun companies have marketed the AR-15, which wasn't even used in this. Remington asked the Supreme Court of the United States to review the state court ruling, but November 2019, the Supreme Court declined to hear the appeal, allowing the family's suit to proceed. 26 July 2021, a judge refused to dismiss the lawsuit. Court documents the next day, Remington offered $33 million to be shared by the 9 families. I'm sorry. Remington, you shouldn't have done that. It was not you. You should not be paying money for something that wasn't your fault. Piss off. February 15th, 2022, Remington agreed to settle for $73 million. According to the family's attorney, Josh Koskov. Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. You should sue the state or sue the fucking city. Or the whoever's running the school board and all that. Get the fuck out of here.
Or the Lanza estate like they did.
Why did they sue Honda? That's what he drove to get there.
Right.
Why didn't you sue Honda? That's basically the same thing as suing Remington.
Why didn't they sue the maker of the glass that he shot through to get into the school in the first place?
Right. Get the fuck out of here.
Why didn't they sue the maker of the vest that he had on?
Dumb.
April 17, 2018, radio host and conspiracy theorist Alex Jones was sued for defamation by 3 parents whose children were killed in the shooting. Prior to this, Jones said that the Sandy Hook shooting was completely fake and a giant hoax perpetrated by opponents of the Second Amendment. Jones claimed he later believed the shooting was real. Oh, yeah, because he had to. May 23, 2018, 6 more families sued Jones for his claims. Jones was found to be in contempt of court by a Texas judge even before the trial started, failing to produce witnesses and materials relevant to the procedures. Consequently, Jones and InfoWars were fined a total of $126,000 in October and December of 2019. But wait, there's more.
There's more. October 2021, Alex Jones was ordered to pay damages and was criticized by a federal judge for failing to hand over documents requested by the courts. Jones declared bankruptcy April 2022 as a result of the defamation lawsuits caused by his claims that the shooting was a hoax. August 4th, 2022, Jones was ordered to pay $4.1 million in damages to Sandy Hook parents And on the 5th of August, 2022, he was ordered to pay a further $45.2 million in punitive damages. Jeez. October 12th, 2022, Jones was ordered to pay $965 million in damage to the families of Sandy Hook. Oh, come on.
Like that'll ever happen.
I just don't get these massive numbers. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
He already declared bankruptcy, so guess what's not going to happen?
Right. He hasn't paid a single dime yet.
And likely won't. The school was closed indefinitely following the shooting, partially because it remained a crime scene.
Wow.
Sandy Hook students returned to classes January 3rd, 2013 at Chalk Hill Middle School, which is in nearby Monroe at the town's invitation. Chalk Hill at the time was an unused facility refurbished after the shooting with desks and equipment brought in from Sandy Hook. Chalk Hill School was temporarily renamed Sandy Hook. University of Connecticut created a scholarship for the surviving children for the surviving children of the shootings. And on January 31st, the Newtown School Board voted unanimously to ask for police officer presence in all of its elementary schools. Previously, other schools in the district had such protection, but Sandy Hook had not been one of them.
I wonder why.
Other schools in the district had protection, but not the elementary school.
And just happened to be that one that got shot up, huh? 10th of May, a task force of 28 appointed members voted to demolish the existing Sandy Hook school and have a new school built in its place. $57 million proposed project was sent to the Newtown Board of Education for approval, to be followed by a public ballot. October 2013, Newtown residents voted 4,504 to 558 in favor of the proposed demolition and reconstruction. And it was to be funded by $50 million in state money.
It takes $57 million to build a new elementary school? Get out of here.
Demolition began on 25th of October and was completed in December of 2013 at a cost of nearly $1.4 million.
Took $1.4 million to knock down a school? Okay.
Right.
Where's that money going? I guess paying people, but still.
Right.
Not $1.4 million. After the town's clerk's office was inundated with requests from the media, the Connecticut House of Representatives Republican Dan Carter introduced legislation that would restrict access to public information available under the Freedom of Information Act. Why?
Right.
June 5th, both houses of the Connecticut State Legislature passed a bill modifying the state's Freedom of Information Act.
They wanted to restrict access to public information
available under the Freedom of Information Act.
Freedom of Information Act.
Right.
How's that make any fucking sense?
Well, both houses indeed passed a bill modifying the state's Freedom of Information Act in order to, quote-unquote, prevent the release of crime scene photos, okay, I get that, and video evidence from the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre and other Connecticut homicides.
I don't know, man. You got to see the shit. You got to see it.
Concerned such records would be spread on the internet. Of course they would be.
You got to see it.
I mean, crime scene photos, you don't have to see them.
I don't know about the photos, but if there's videos...
I'm sure there's videos of him. We've never seen any videos of him walking through the hall or anything.
Nope. That's why everybody's so suspicious. You got videos of all the other bullshit.
Right.
The bill then went to Governor Daniel,
I guess.
Daniel Malloy's office for his signature. The bill creates a new exemption to the state's Freedom of Information Act. The release of photographs, film, video, digital, or other visual images depicting a homicide victim is prevented in such records. This could reasonably be expected to constitute an unwarranted invasion of the personal privacy of the victim or the victim's surviving family members.
So no crime scene photos ever are going to release again under these laws?
Maybe in their state. Sandy Hook Promise Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit, was formed to help survivors and families of the victims, while also continuing the service of assisting others impacted by other shootings across the United States of America. Cool.
Let's look at some reactions here. Obama's address in reaction to the shooting. President Obama gave a televised address on the day of the shootings. He said, "We're going to have to come, and we're going to have to come together and take meaningful action to prevent more tragedies like this, regardless of the politics." Obama expressed enormous sympathy for the families that are affected. He also ordered flags to be flown at half staff at the White House and other U.S. federal government facilities worldwide in respect of the victims. December 16th, Obama traveled to Newtown, where he met with victims' families and spoke at an interfaith vigil.
The governor of Connecticut, Governor Malloy, he addressed the media the evening of the shootings near a local church, holding a vigil for the victims, urging the people of Connecticut to come together right now and help each other. Malloy said, "Evil visited this community today, and it is too early to speak of recovery. But each parent, each sibling, Each member of family has to understand that Connecticut, we are all in this together. We will do whatever we can to overcome this event. We will get through it. Quote, unquote. Repeat the line. Hundreds of mourners, including Malloy, attended vigils in various churches in Newtown. 17th of December, Malloy called for a statewide moment of silence and church bells to be tolled 26 times at 9:30 a.m. on the 21st of December, exactly 1 week after the shooting.
U.S. Secretary of Education Arne Duncan said, "Our thanks go out to every teacher, staff member, and first responder who cared for, comforted, and protected children from harm, often at risk to themselves. We will do everything in our power to assist and support the healing and recovery of Newtown." The day after the shooting, Lanza's father released a statement. "Our hearts go out to the families and friends who lost loved ones and to all those who were injured. Our family is grieving along with all those who have been affected by this enormous tragedy. No words can truly express how heartbroken we are. We are in a state of disbelief and trying to find whatever answers we can. We too are asking why. We have cooperated fully with law enforcement and will continue to do so. Like so many of you, we are saddened but struggling to make sense of what has transpired."
Right.
Especially his dad. They didn't even like each other. So
crazy. Leaders from other countries and organizations throughout the world also offered their condolences through the weekend after the shooting.
Good for them.
President Obama honored the 6 students with the 2012 Presidential Citizens Medal on 15th February 2013. President Obama said, and then when Dawn Hochsprung and Mary Sherlock and Vicky Soto and Lauren Russo, Rachel Davino, Anne Marie Murphy, when they showed up for work at Sandy Hook Elementary on December 14th of last year, they expected a day like any other, doing what was right for their kids. Spent a chilly morning readying classrooms and welcoming young students. They had no idea that evil was about to strike. And when it did, they could have taken shelter by themselves. They could have focused on their own safety, on their own well-being, but they didn't. They gave their lives to protect the precious children in their care. They gave all they had for the most innocent and helpless among us. And that's what we honor today. The courageous heart, the selfless spirit, the inspiring actions of extraordinary Americans, extraordinary citizens.
The shooting prompted renewed debate about the gun control, because of course it did.
Right.
Including proposals for making the background check system universal and for new federal and state legislation banning the sale and manufacture of certain types of semi-automatic firearms.
That's all of them.
And magazines with more than 10 rounds.
That's every single gun there is.
That's not true. Pistols don't have 10 rounds.
They're still a semi-automatic.
Well, right. Yeah, that part, of course. Within hours of the shooting, a We the People petition was started asking the White House to immediately address the issue of gun control through the introduction of legislation in Congress.
Shut the fuck up.
And the gun control advocacy group, the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence, reported that an avalanche of donations in the hours after the shooting caused its website to crash. Isn't the Brady Campaign that one cop guy or something that got shot and he's in a wheelchair or some shit, right?
Possible.
Yeah.
Seth Brady.
Yeah.
Or Jim Brady.
He was he was assistant to the U.S. president. Yeah, got shot. The Reagan guy. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. 5 days later, Obama announced that he would make gun control a central issue of his second term, and he created a gun violence task force to be headed by Vice President Joe Biden. January 16th.
I wonder why nothing got done. Huh?
Right. 16th of January, 2013. Obama signed 23 executive orders and proposed 12 congressional actions regarding gun control. His proposals included universal background checks on firearm purchases, an assault weapons ban, and a high-capacity magazine ban, limiting capacity to 10 cartridges.
December 21st, 2012, the National Rifle Association's Wayne LaPierre said gun-free school zones attract killers and that another gun ban would not protect Americans.
Exactly.
He called on Congress to appropriate funds to hire armed police officers for every American school and announced that the NRA would create the National School Shield Emergency Response Program to help.
And they would.
After LaPierre's press conference, the Brady campaign asked for donations to support its gun control advocacy and asked NRA members who believe like we do that we are better than this to join its campaign.
Really? 8th of January, 2013, former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, who was shot and injured in 2011 shooting in Tucson, launched the
Shot in the fucking head.
Right. Launched the gun control group Americans for Responsible Solutions. She did this with the specific aim of matching or exceeding the fundraising capabilities of the NRA and similar groups. 16th of January, 2013, New York became the first United States the United States state. New York became the first U.S. state to act after the shooting when it enacted the Secure Ammunition and Firearms Enforcement Act, which is called SAFE. They did that on the 16th of January, that's right.
Right.
April 3rd, 2013, the Connecticut General Assembly passed a 139-page major gun control bill with broad bipartisan support. Governor Malloy, he signed this bill on that very same day.
He did, didn't he? The bill requires universal background checks, which is
fine.
background checks for all firearm purchases.
Right.
And a high-capacity magazine ban in the sale or purchase of ammunition magazines capable of holding more than 10. It also created the first registry in the United States for dangerous weapon offenders and added over 100 types of guns to the state's assault weapons ban.
You can't do that.
Pro-gun groups had rallied outside the Capitol to protest prior to the signing and challenged it in court. Federal Judge Alfred Covello ruled to uphold the law in January 2014.
Right. 4th of April 2013, Maryland also enacted new restrictions to their existing gun laws. However, 10 other states passed laws that relax gun restrictions.
But I know at least 4 of them.
Michigan is one, I believe. Legislation introduced in the first session of the 113th Congress included the assault weapons ban of 2013 and the Manchin-Toomey Amendment to expand background checks on gun purchases. Both were defeated in the Senate on 17th April 2013.
Guessing that was a Republican-held Senate.
It was with Obama, yes.
Renewed debate about the effects of violent video games on young people began soon after the shooting due to news reports suggesting Lanza frequently played violent video games.
I was playing Doom in 1990. Never thought about shooting up a school.
Right. Wayne LaPierre publicly blamed video games for the shooting, specifically targeting the free online game Kindergarten Killers, created by Gary Short.
Oh, no.
I mean, yeah, they did. Didn't he make that after the Columbine?
I think so.
Police found numerous video games in the basement of Adam Lanza's home. Oh, you mean you found numerous games in a 20-year-old's basement, which was used as a gaming area.
Oh,
the
that makes
final report
sense.
into the shooting by the state attorney published November 2013 noted.
But the thing was, it was a bunch of Tetris and Mario.
Well, it says right here, they noted that he played video games often, both solo at home and online.
Oh.
He was playing World of Warcraft, that's what they're saying. They could be described as both violent and nonviolent. One person described the shooter as spending the majority of his time playing nonviolent video games all day, with his favorite at one point being Super Mario Brothers.
Hey, look at that shit.
What is he?
Violent.
He's harmful towards plants.
He's stepping on turtles' heads.
Goombas, yeah. Whatever Goombas are.
And he's kicking their shells around. Animal abuse. Oh, man. The report described his liking for Dance Dance Revolution.
I wouldn't have thought that, but okay.
Maybe that's why he's so skinny. He was just down there dancing.
Right, he's just fucking burning those calories, baby.
Which he played frequently for hours with an
Wait, I thought he was in his bedroom.
Right.
And never came out of his bedroom. Now he has a gaming thing in the basement?
Right. Anyway, he played this game for hours with an acquaintance at a movie theater in Danbury, which had a commercial version of the game, and also played the game at home.
But also, he had no friends.
Right.
Supposedly, but he's at a movie theater playing with a friend.
Playing Dance Dance Revolution.
Right.
Well, Dance Dance Revolution is a non-violent exercising game where the user is required to move their feet rhythmically in response to video cues.
No shit. That's why it's called Dance Dance Revolution. You dance.
Right. According to the report by the Office of the Child Advocate, Lanza would play the game for hours, using it as a distraction from his inner turmoil. The report said he would whip himself into a frenzy, a behavior consistent possibly with a need to contain anxiety-producing impulses and thoughts. Maybe just like dance.
Right.
There were days when he would not do anything else but dance, revolution.
Just dance, 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 dance.
We're gonna start a revolution. Gonna move my feet. Happy feet? I bet he'd like that.
Have you ever seen anybody play that damn game?
Yes, it's weird.
Well, it's not weird, but it's hard as hell when it's going fast. This motherfuckers literally just be like fucking doing some shit, dude. The final report by the state attorney did not make a link between video games and the motive for shooting, obviously. However, the report of the child advocate said video games, internet addiction appear to be highly comorbid with several other psychiatric disorders, including anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsive challenges.
Okay.
Many organizations were created due to the massacre that work to promote an end to school shootings, with some such as Jesse Lewis Choose Love Movement, Sandy Hook Promise, and Safe and Sound Schools, organized and led by parents of the victims, while others such as Moms Demand Action were created by outsiders outraged by the shooting.
Yeah, we all know who they were.
Who's Moms Demand Action?
Right. March 25th. What? March 2014, Newtown city officials announced the design for the new Sandy Hook Elementary. The only remnant of the original school would be its flagpole. A few days later, Newtown Sandy Hook Community Foundation released results of a survey with over 1,600 respondents. Among the other inquiries, the survey asked residents what should be done with the balance of the $11 million in donations that had been received since the incident in 2012.
Well, the majority of responses said that money for mental health counseling and other family expenses should be the top priorities. Right, give it to the families.
Right, idiots.
A few responses suggested that some of the money should be used to purchase and tear down the shooter's family home in order to replace it with a park or wildlife sanctuary.
That's stupid.
Okay. Jennifer Barahona, the foundation's executive director, was quoted as saying, "That's not something we're considering at this time. It's really outside of our scope, and it's fucking ignorant."
Man, it's stupid. It was a tear down.
Shouldn't even have tore down the school, to be honest with you. But
right, there's no reason to tear down the school.
Could have easily remodeled, just like Columbine did.
Yeah, in Oxford
and every school, right?
21st of October, building site preparation work began on the new Sandy Hook Elementary. Project updates and progress were posted on a dedicated website. Citing security and privacy reasons and out of respect for the families of the victims, no groundbreaking ceremony was held.
Okay.
Construction was scheduled to begin in March of 2015. Construction was scheduled to begin in March 2015, with the school expected to open by, in December? That's not right.
Right.
By December 2016.
Well, in December, it was announced that the town of Newtown will acquire the property and home of Nancy Lanza at no cost. Oh, jeez. So they took it.
Right.
Property at 36 Yogananda Street was part of the Lanza estate, to which surviving son Ryan Lanza is the sole heir. Oh, so fuck him. He should have sold it. Right. Got the money for it. Yep. Lanza's attorney, Kenneth Gruder, arranged for the transfer through a series of transactions so that probate records...
You know, if he was going to sell that, he could have got way more money for that house. You know how crazy people are for freaking idiots like that. Like, what? That's the shooter's house? 1.3 million, baby.
Right. Well, according to them, anyways, they arranged for transfer through a series of transactions so that probate records would not show the city acquiring the property from the Lanza family. Gruder said the notoriety of the home had made it essentially unsaleable.
Oh, whatever.
The home was demolished March 2015. Why are we... I don't understand.
So stupid.
Why we're demolishing...
Right. But yet there's homeless people around the block.
Right.
Idiots. 21st of July, 2015, Newtown Legislative Council. They voted unanimously to demolish the house where Nancy and Adam lived and to keep the land as open space. Demolition was completed on 24th of March, 2015. In February 2015, the family of one of the victims, Victoria Soto, applied for trademark protection for her name. The reason for this was to help prevent others from misusing Soto's name on social media and for the benefit of the memorial fund set up in her name. The victim's sister, Jillian, said fake social media accounts existed using her sister's name to promote conspiracy theories about the shooting. Oh.
Okay. 2016, in July, the new Sandy Hook school was unveiled and parents were shown around the building.
No.
The design of this new school incorporates numerous security features, including bulletproof glass exteriors. There you go. Fencing around the perimeter of the building. That worked well for Robb Elementary, didn't it? And fortified safe rooms. Oh, jeez. The new school is... my kid goes to the school where there has the safe rooms in it. The new school is on the site of the building where the shooting took place, which was, yes, we know.
2013, the Newtown Board of Selectmen appointed the Sandy Hook Permanent Memorial Commission. Out of 189 design submissions, the commission chose a design created by Dan Affleck and Ben Waldo of SWA Group. $3.7 million to construct the memorial was narrowly approved by Newtown voters in April of 2021.
Yeah, because most of them are probably like, why does it need to be $3.7 million?
Stupid. And site work began in August 2021. Construction completed in August of 2022. The memorial opened to the public on November 13th, 2022, after a private ceremony with the victims' families. It features a stone basin engraved with the names of the victims, with a young sycamore tree at its center. A memorial mass is held every year at St. Rose of Lima Church.
That costs $3.7 million to build.
I suppose.
Literally landscaping blocks in a circle.
Right.
And pavers.
And it looks pretty shitty.
Right. $3.7 million. What the fuck?
I think that only costs about $50,000.
Right. Oh, wow.
I mean, I guess there's a lot of landscaping around there. And
you give a shit, $3.7 million?
That's probably about $200,000 in labor.
So sad, dude. All right, well.
Oh, we knew this was going to happen.
It's,
This got more conspiracy than JFK.
well, we're going to take a look at some conspiracy claims. I don't know if this ended an episode. Seemed kind of weird to end it on conspiracies. Yep, we do. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracies here. Oh, shit. Actually, not really that many, but there's prominent ones, I guess you could say.
Right.
Some conspiracy theorists claim that the shooting was a hoax and a false flag operation staged by the United States government. Others say the attack is being used by politicians to push through new gun control legislation.
That's definitely true.
Or to otherwise persecute gun owners and survivalists.
That's also true.
Lawyer and dentist Orly Tates.
Damn, how do you choose which one to be?
Right. Well, you'd be both. Why not both? Yeah. Best known for her promotion of Barack Obama's citizenship, or Birther claims, was quoted as asking, was Adam Lanza drugged and hypnotized by his handlers to make him into a killing machine? As an excuse, says the regime is itching to take all means of self-defense from the populace before the economic collapse.
Ooh. I mean, that's a hard one there. Talk show host Clyde Lewis wrote, Don't you find it at all interesting that Adam Lanza, the alleged shooter at Sandy Hook, woke up one day and decided to shoot up a school, kill children at about the same time that Barack Obama told the UN that he would sign the Small Arms Treaty? Whoa. According to Live Science, whatever that is, and it says, no one, regardless of what side of the gun control issue they're on, can deny that guns played a key role in the Sandy Hook school shootings.
No shit.
So the conspiracy theorists must instead challenge the claim that the attack even occurred. They believe it is all a hoax to scare people into supporting more gun control and a step toward an outright repeal of the Second Amendment.
Would never happen.
Nah, can't.
You can repeal amendments. Of course you can. They also found that the vast majority of evidence used by conspiracy theorists to support the concept that Sandy Hook was a hoax is contradictory. Snopes.
They're using Snopes.
Snopes.com. Okay. They also debunked several claims of alleged in the United States. Government involvement.
Right.
Fetzer, Tracy, and others have claimed the shooting was a class of who don't know who Fetzer and Tracy are.
Or others.
Right. Yeah, there's not even a Fetzer or Tracy.
Right.
The fuck? Others have claimed the shooting was a classified training exercise modeled on Operation Closed Campus, a full-spectrum school shooting drill involving the Department of Homeland Security, Iowa emergency management agencies, state and local police, prosecuting attorneys, emergency radio operators, emergency medical personnel, MULOG, whatever that is.
What
local
Iowa have to do with anything?
I think they're like the center of the emergency management things. Local doctors and hospitals, the Red Cross, medical examiners, news reporters, and crisis actors that was canceled in 2011 amid threats and public outcry. Press
TV, whatever that is, the official state media outlet of Iran. Oh, it's a state media outlet of Iran. Cool. Press TV, the official state media outlet of Iran, has promoted various anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, blaming Israeli death squads for the shooting. Press TV...
Jeez. Like, how can we blame the Israelis?
It's the damn Jewish. Damn Jews. Press TV interviewed Veterans Today website writer Gordon Duff, who quoted Michael Harris, a former Republican candidate for governor of Arizona, who made the Israeli death squads claim. Well, Harris has publicly associated with neo-Nazi groups in the past and has previously claimed that Israel was responsible for the 2011 Norway attacks. What happened in Norway?
Oh, the Christchurch? No, that was New Zealand. Norway, didn't somebody shoot up a school there or some shit?
No.
Yeah. Terrorist attacks, yeah. Summer camp, total 77 people were killed.
Damn.
Then he exploded a building.
Oh, shit. I don't remember that.
This is the one... I don't think that was Christchurch. This might be the one where he was recording it while it was going down.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Well, Duff asserted that the attacks were an act of revenge for... Who the fuck is Duff?
All right, no one cares about this guy.
I don't know who Duff is, but Duff...
Website writer.
Oh, Gordon Duff, right. Gordon Duff asserted that the attacks were an act of revenge for the perceived cooling of Israel-United States relations under Obama, especially as a response to Obama's decision to nominate former Senator Chuck Hagel, a perceived critic of Israel, for the position of United States Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
In another broadcast by Press TV, Holocaust denier James Fetzer claimed that the massacre appears to have been a psyop intended to strike fear in the hearts of Americans that was conducted by agents of Israel. The Washington Post reported that claims broadcasts on Press TV contain a large number of obvious logical fallacies, typical of Iranian propaganda, which has a well-earned reputation for incendiary anti-Israel. Of course they do. They hate Israel.
Anything Iran says, get the hell out of here. Jeez. Well, maybe it was Putin was saying it. We might listen.
Well, I don't know about that.
The Atlantic wrote that the story obviously plays on the worst fears of those who believe in secret Jewish cabals that run the world. But it's a pretty pathetic attempt at slander, even for Iran. Quote, unquote. Repeat the line. Ben Swan, a Cincinnati news anchor for Fox affiliate WXIX-TV, has suggested on his personal YouTube channel that Adam Lanza was accompanied by another shooter. He was made similar claims about the Aurora shooting and the Wisconsin Sikh temple shooting.
Isn't it Sikh? Didn't we get corrected on that on our YouTube or Sikh or something?
Sikh.
Seek out, yeah.
From earlier in 2012, other conspiracy theorists have claimed that as many as 4 shooters were present.
Oh, yeah, but no fucking other kids said nothing about it.
There was no credible evidence that any additional shooters were present at all. They call it an event.
Right, at the event.
Some such reports may have been influenced by confused early news reports of the events.
Well, there's always those, aren't there? Other conspiracy theories that focus on the claim that Adam Lanza's father...
We just get word that Tower 7 fell, even though it's standing right behind her.
Breaking news, Tower 7 has collapsed. Like, bitch, it's smoking right in the back of you right now. You forget you're live. Wait, we're live, pal.
Can I do that again?
Well, it's just like with the Robb Elementary School shooting.
Right.
They said there was a bunch of reports off of news that came out that they had the shooter in custody.
Right.
And only like 2 kids died or something like that. Other conspiracy theories that focus on the claim that Adam Lanza's father was an executive with GE Energy Financial Services. According to these theories, Lanza's father was supposedly to testify before the state banking committee with information about the LIBOR scandal.
That's easily can be found out.
Right. However, no such hearings were scheduled. Similar claims have been made about the father of James Holmes, who convicted... who was the Aurora, Colorado shooter.
Conspiracy theories have claimed that various timestamps for creation dates, Whois records, and Google caches of various memorial websites, fundraising sites, and Facebook were created before or immediately after the date and time of the shooting, and therefore evidence of a conspiracy or cover-up. That's easily found out, too. However, timestamps are frequently incorrect. Are they, though? Particularly on search engines. Some timestamps are initially created and assigned to URLs that are then repurposed, meaning that a URL link to a current event can have a much older date. Is that true?
I don't know. How do you repurpose an URL? How do you repurpose a URL that's www.sandyhookmemorial.com? Like, how the fuck do you repurpose that? Doesn't make any sense.
Forever, right?
I mean,
even if it gets shut down?
I mean, you could, obviously the content of the website would be, you could change that, but the URL?
Right.
I don't know. Some computer people are going to have to chime in on that one there. Right. James Tracy, a former professor at FAU, Florida Atlantic University, who taught a course on conspiracy theories. Well, they got courses on those, huh? Oh, has suggested that the shooter either did not actually occur or occurred very differently. Why
there's so many conspiracy theorists. They're freaking teaching in college.
Of course, they're turning them out to the fucking world. He suggested the shooting either did not occur or occurred very differently than accounted in the mainstream reports, claiming political motives for the cover-up. FAU President Mary Jane Saunders issued a statement that Tracy's views were not shared by the university. In response to his comments, the university opened an investigation of Tracy, who had tenure. Yeah, this dude can say whatever the fuck he wants. You can't get rid of him.
You can't say shit.
Nice.
December 2015. After the family of Noah Posner, one of the children moited at Sandy Hook, claimed that Tracy had harassed them, FAU moved to fire Tracy. Chan Lowe of the Sun Sentinel speculated that the comments were a publicity stunt by Tracy. Tracy later declined an appearance on CNN with Anderson Cooper, suggesting that Cooper wanted to bring him and his family members harm by identifying him in a prior broadcast. Probably, because Anderson Cooper's a piece of shit. The university fired Tracy on the 5th of January, 2016, citing his refusal to file required paperwork related to outside employment.
Man, they found something.
Right.
They found something on his ass. 2016, James Fetzer and Mike Palasek published a book.
Sounds like a hockey player.
Mike Palasek? Yeah. James Fetzer could be too, I guess.
Like a baseball player.
Right. Baseball, hockey, fucking teaming up. They published a book, Nobody Died at Sandy Hook, which claimed that the event was a classified federal emergency management FEMA drill involving federal and local law enforcement and the media, and that the government had created false death certificates to claim they were victims.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if something like that were to be true.
Right. We already know the government lies, and they've covered up bigger shit than this before.
You ain't kidding.
Fetzer stated that the parents displayed old photos of their real children and made up new names for the photo subjects, thereby creating non-existent younger siblings. Fetzer also claimed that several of these older age real children who were unnamed and billed as Newtown's children sang America the Beautiful at the 2013 Super Bowl with Jennifer Hudson, arguing there were strong facial similarities with the victims.
I mean, if you look at both pictures together, they do. And there was something I seen maybe last year or the year before of all the same kids that were supposedly killed and the grown-ups of them nowadays. But you know how AI is nowadays, so who knows? I don't know if that was around like 2000 though, AI, was it?
Well, this happened in 2012 or something, so.
And that one picture was like 2000. They happened to be 13, 14 years old or something like that.
Who knows?
Lenny Posner, father of victim Noah Posner, he filed a defamation lawsuit against Fetzer and Palachek. Posner won a summary judgment from the court in 2019 in June. The book's publisher, Moon Rock Books, apologized to Posner's family, and they agreed to take the book out of circulation at the end of June.
Just let me get in a few more sales, will you?
Right. October 16th, 2019, jury awarded Leonard Posner $450,000 for defamation by James Fetzer. Fetzer announced his intention to appeal against the decision. A video similarly questioning the officials' accounts of the shooting received several million views on YouTube within a week of posting. Although the video has since been modified to display a disclaimer explaining that its creators in no way claim this shooting never took place or that people did not lose their lives. As long as you put a disclaimer on it, right?
Other sources have continued to claim the entire event was a hoax. September 12, 2014, during a political debate, Colorado Republican Party candidate Tom Reddy, who was running for Pueblo County Commission, was accused by his opponent Sal Pace of posting an article on his Facebook page claiming the Sandy Hook shootings never happened. Reddy responded, "Well, there is some question of whether it happened, Sal." This was followed by more statements of the same tenor, prompting outraged yells from the audience. After allegedly receiving a death threat the next day, Reddy reportedly apologized. So there's no public record of that?
Right. Wow. Other conspiracy theorists have tried to connect the shooting to references in popular culture. Prison Planet, which is a website owned by British conspiracy theorist Paul Joseph Watson, it mentioned that Newtown-based author Suzanne Collins wrote the Hunger Games book, in which 23 children are ritualistically killed, while 20 children were killed in the shooting.
Well, it's different.
Some conspiracy theorists have referred to this as a predictive programming. Others pointed out that Sandy Hook can be seen on a map of Gotham City in 2012 Batman The Dark Knight Rises. The New Jersey Peninsula, just south of New York Harbor, is named Sandy Hook, obviously.
Not only that, I'm pretty sure they found there was like a map that Joker had, and it was circled. That was one place he planned to attack.
Right.
Several conspiracy theorists have also claimed a 6-year-old victim of the shooting subsequently appeared in a photograph of President Barack Obama. In fact, the child in the photograph is actually the victim's sister wearing her deceased sister's dress. Weird.
Whoa.
Right. Writing about the Sandy Hook conspiracy theories, Benjamin Radford argued that most conspiracy theorists who allege contradictions in official accounts ignore contradictions in their own accounts, citing research from the University of Kent that conspiracy theorists selectively focus on or ignore particular details in order to fit their preferred narrative.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, obviously.
Right. I mean, what are you going to do? The conspiracy theories have also been called evidence of the need for a national debate on mental illness, which there needs to be some more done with that shit.
They're saying that conspiracy theorists have mental illnesses.
They might. The debunking website Snopes, which is a not even, sorry guys, Snopes or Reddit, or what's the other one?
Factcheck.org
Yeah,
or something.
garbage. Fact check my ass. They ran an editorial debunking the Sandy Hook Exposed video, explaining how many of the theories make little sense, and answered many questions conspiracy theorists wanted answers to. They didn't, though. Gene Rosen, a Newtown resident who was reported to have sheltered 6 Sandy Hook students and a bus driver in his home during the shooting, has been subject to harassment online, alleging he was complicit in a government cover-up, among other things. Oh, what was the other things, though?
Right. What was what other things did they accuse of him?
Did he plan on trafficking out the kids?
It might have been. Some journalists have cited such incidents as part of the Sandy Hook Truther movement, analogous to the 9/11 Truth movement. A writer for Calgary Herald reported that the movement self-identifies as Operation Terror. Okay, May 2014, Andrew David Truelove stole a memorial sign from playgrounds dedicated to victims Grace McDonald and Chase Kowalski. He then went on to call the parents of Grace McDonald, proclaiming that he stole the sign and that he believed their deaths were a hoax. Well, that's a dickhead move. Right. He was arrested May 30th, and the signs were found in his home. Truelove was convicted of the theft and sentenced to 1 year in prison. Damn. Wow. They got fucking literally went as hard as they could on that guy. Huh?
Damn. After doing CNN interview on the day after shooting, Robbie Parker, father of victim Emily Parker, became the target of conspiracy theorists who claimed the interview was staged. Parker has been attacked by... I remember that interview.
See the one that...
I think it was laughing or something.
Oh, yeah, he was the one that like smiling and laughing as he was walking up to the podium, and then got serious.
Right.
Thought the camera.
Right. Parker has been attacked by theorists who believe he is a crisis actor and was getting into character before going on CNN to grieve over the loss of a alleged child.
2016 April, Matthew Mills, a man from Brooklyn, accepted a plea agreement with prosecutors on one count of interfering with police arising from an incident in November 2015. When Mills angrily approached the sister of murdered teacher Victoria Soto, who was regarded as a heroine for her attempt to protect her students. They shoved a photograph in her face and began angrily charging that not only did the Sandy Hook tragedy not take place, but that Victoria Soto never existed.
Ooh, I mean, if you're going to claim that, you got to have some sort of proof.
Right. Mills entered an Alford plea and was thus found guilty. He was given a suspended sentence of 1 year in jail, so nothing. 2 years probation, pretty much.
Probably not even that.
Well, you got 2 years probation.
Maybe.
Clearly.
Good time.
You don't get off a good time on probation, do you?
I don't know. In December of 2016, Lucy Richards, a woman from Tampa, was charged with 4 counts of transmitting threats in interstate commerce for sending death threats to Lenny Posner, whose son Noah was the youngest of 20 children murdered. Posner has been particularly targeted by internet trolls and conspiracy theorists because he was vocally fought back against them. Richards had been expected to plead guilty to 1 count of transmitting threats, with both the prosecution and defense to recommend a sentence of probation and house arrest.
However, March 2017, Richards, who was free on bond, failed to show up for a court in a change of plea hearing and sentencing.
Why would you not?
A warrant was issued, Richards' bond was revoked, and she was soon apprehended.
Why would you not show up?
Well, instead, for her efforts, June 7th, 2017, she was sentenced to 5 months imprisonment.
You dumbass.
Lenny Posner, the father of Sandy Hook victim, founded an organization called the Honor Network, which takes legal action against harassers of Sandy Hook survivors and families. Wolfgang Helbig, a past contributor to InfoWars, was arrested January 2020 for the unauthorized possession of personal information of Lenny Posner. Helbig had illegally obtained Posner's private information and attempted to dox Posner by sending those to a long list of recipients. Under Florida law, unauthorized possession of such information carries a maximum prison term of 1
I thought
year.
Alex Jones is against doxing.
Oh, he was a past contributor to InfoWars at that point. So, yeah, there was a whole thing on Alex Jones, too, but we kind of covered it already.
Right.
We know that he had to pay $1 billion or was charged $1 billion anyway, but yeah, that'll wrap up this episode.
I mean, they never really debunked the conspiracy, a lot of them, the stupid ones, yeah. But the ones that actually made sense, they never really got debunked. Not saying it didn't happen, but CIA said it didn't kill JFK until they did.
Right. Well, I don't know. I guess it's up for you guys to decide. You guys decide if this was a hoax or not. Leave it in the comments. Email us at bangdangpodcast@gmail.com.
Tragedy nonetheless.
Right. Even if it was a government op and they actually did kill children.
Right.
Either way, it's fucking terrible.
I mean, Tom Hanks does it every day, allegedly.
Well, allegedly.
Allegedly.
We should change our fucking podcast name to Allegedly.
Right. Ask Isaac Cappy.
Well, allegedly. How do you force yourself off of a bridge?
Right.
Anyways, we'll be back next week for some more crime stuff. Maybe we'll do the murder of Joey. I don't know. We got a lot of moitas here.
Isaac Cappy actually said that Alex Jones was a fraud.
Well, grifters. That's what they call them, right? Yeah. That's what these kids are saying nowadays. Grifters.
Right.
Yeah, we got a bunch of killings. Bunch of moitas that we got to do.
Waukesha. That was terrible.
Waukesha?
You can do anything you want these days, I guess.
Why? He went to prison for life.
He didn't.
Yes, he did.
I don't think so.
Yes.
You sure?
It was a fucking trial all over the internet. Yes.
I don't think he went to prison.
He defended himself and...
Did he?
Yeah, it was like ignorant.
Really?
Yelling at the judge in the courtroom. And
was that the one?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in prison for sure.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, we got a lot of shootings, a lot of murders. Plus, we'll be starting, hopefully, our serial killer series here soon, because...
Oh, Brianna Dennison. Ooh, did we already do that?
No. We sure didn't.
Is that the one that...
No.
Her boyfriend was a drug dealer and they shot her while she was sleeping?
No. What?
The cops shot her while she was sleeping.
No, that's the fucking Breonna Taylor. Right? We did a fucking segment on our piece of shit wannabe news fucking thing. Yeah. Yeah, reminder, go check out our YouTube at Bang Dang Network. And Spotify, Apple.
Murders of Jan Paquette. What?
Give us a review. And we'll be back next week for some more true crime on the Outlaws and Gunslingers. We are the Mother Music Industry.
Bang Dang.